That's terrible. But this dog bit me in the nut. Now, it's my dog, but don't get me wrong. You know, it's I like big dogs. I got a big dog. I named him Shaq. You know, I leave him outside.
And I dunk on them all the time. I take that, Shaq.
I love that.
I say, hey, Shaq, now, hey, try to drive a car, Shaq. Try it. You can't do it, can you, Shaq?
I was listening to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and he had Shaquille O'Neal on a couple weeks ago,
Nice.
but he also had Charles Barkley a few weeks prior to that, and it was just like this intermittent, like different timeline of like them dunking on each other on different episodes. It's so good. There was a fun fact that when they're both real young, I think like maybe their third or fourth year in the league, and they had like kind of got at it on like national TV, like in front of everyone. And you could read the lips of like they were swearing and stuff. And then later on, Shaquille O'Neal's mom straight up called Shaq. I was like, now you better not do that kind of crap again, because I saw that. Mrs. Barkley saw that. You better not. He's like, how you know Mama Barkley, Mama? It's like, because we best friends. We play bridge. And you're like, what? So apparently Charles Barkley's mom, Shaquille O'Neal's mom in real life, like when they were growing up, they actually knew each other somehow.
Whoa, that's cool.
And then from that point on, and then from that point on, she's like, yeah, we never did that again.
We won't do that. We won't do that.
No. Don't yell at us like Kenny, Mama.
Mama Barkley. That's
Mama Barkley.
I don't want to upset Mama Barkley.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a Mama Barkley impression, no?
Oh, a Mama Barkley. So Charles Barkley, but an old lady?
Look. Now, my mama's not old. Okay, she is fine. She's like a wine. She is like a menage a trois you will get at a gas station. But don't hold on. I just said menage a trois, mama in the same city. That's gross. That's terrible.
Let me try to do Mama Barkley. Okay.
Mama Barkley sound like.
Again, I like missing shots. I like fricking. So right now I want you to know that I played bridge with Shaq. This is fucking bad, man.
You know, you sound like any parent from the Peanuts cartoons, but with like the Louisiana accent, like y'all know now. Y'all hear? Mom.
Yeah, so you couldn't understand a word I said. Good. That's probably a good thing.
But you can understand this. This is 1-star reviews. This is Andrew Van with my friend Jason Underwood of the Bearded Ones Comedy Podcast, as we are doing our worst impressions of the Barkley family here.
Yeah, and I want to say, man, you've helped us out. Like last episode, talked about one of the roasts you helped us out with. You submitted, and I think a request specifically for you to submit in Charles Barkley clips for these roasts, and you helped out with one. I think it was roast of the Babadook, and Charles Barkley was like, when you said Babadook, but I heard Marmaduke, so all these are Marmaduke jokes. And it was
these are based on Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Doing shit without Shaggy, stuff like that. And Evan and I, my co-host, had like such a fun time because we were like, wait a minute. So he thinks a Marmaduke is a dog breed. And we were talking about that. And we are like, what's a Marmaduke mixed with a poodle? And Evan goes, a Pumaduke. And we just had so much fun of Charles Barkley going into a pet store going like, oh yeah, I'd like a Pumaduke. It's like, oh, you need to use the bathroom. Go back there. No, I just want a Pumaduke right here. Look, you cannot Pumaduke in the floor. Come on.
Why am I banned from all these pet stores? I don't understand. I like petting things. I like soft fuzzy things, but no one lets me get in there.
No one lets me get a Pumaduke.
How come I can't even touch this guinea pig? It's not even a pig. It don't even have any bacon in there. I don't understand why they call it that. It got a fur. Pigs ain't got no fur.
Bacon ain't got no fur. I don't want fairy bacon.
Look at this. This is little ass bacon. This ain't gonna fill me up. It's like when you eat sushi and you get 2 rolls and you're like, I'm still hungry.
Choo.
I want Charles Barkley to do like a sushi review. It's like, hi,
I'd love
this. This is Charles Barkley at Koi Restaurant in Tokyo. Just
First off, I like the tight roll. It's real tight, real. All the rice is in place. Secondly, the seaweed is perfectly placed. Also, it smells weird.
And how come there's seaweed and everything? I just, like, why is everything buried in this?
Man, why? Look, just give me a bowl of all this. I don't need this presentation.
Seaweed is the nachos of Japan.
I don't know what the show we're doing anymore is. I think it's just talking about Barkley, but we got a restaurant, right?
Yes, we have a restaurant. So as I earlier mentioned in another episode with Tupelo Honey, Jason Underwood has been looking phenomenal for the past couple of years because he went to a vegetarian diet. He went to his mid-30s and said, hey, no more shenanigans. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm gonna do this the right way, and you did. You look fantastic, and you started by doing vegetarian. You cut out the junk food, the bread, the beer, the meats, especially. So you went vegetarian for a while, and that's why today's episode is Roost at 220 North Main Street in Greenville, South Carolina. Genuinely one of my favorite places to eat. I like to take it and go for lunchtime because lunchtime they have a nice little buffet spread. There's a big salad bar. You can get soup. You can get flatbread pizza, or you can order anything off their small plate menus in general. But like, it's a really good, unique, one of a kind, Greenville only place to show off if you have friends in town, that kind of stuff. And it's got a cool little fire pit on the outside tables. It's got a nice little fountain on the outside, facing the street on Main Street as well. A lot of times on Thursdays during the spring and summer, you can listen to live music right there in the courtyard. Or if you're a fan of sports, you can watch on a ton of TVs at the bar area as well. Or if you want something a little bit quieter, you can sit towards the other side of the bar, towards the hotel side. It's got nice, soft music, really good ambiance. So it's a little bit of everything for everyone,
Yeah, it's a great place. I know that's a place Miley and I have gone for Valentine's Day last couple of years. Like that's kind of like our place for Valentine's. It's
nice.
Yeah, great, real chill. It's a great place to go.
All right, so let's see here. We got some 1-star reviews. And again, we like and love the places that we review on this podcast. We do like to read the bad reviews just to kind of turn bad press into good press, have some fun with the trolls. But honestly, hey, it's on the internet. It's fun to read at the same time. Yeah, we can do what we want. Yeah. So we have this one here. This is from 3 months ago. This would have been around January 2021. Seating was very cold and it was horrible. Oh, no shit, you were outside. Of course it was fucking cold. That's not the restaurant's fault.
Roost, it is snowing. How can you turn the snow down, please?
Had Black Angus burger and taste was so plain. It wasn't worth $14. I would have been more satisfying going to Burger King or Wendy's. Do not waste your time and money going to Roost. I've been in many restaurants, and this was the lower end of my choice. Okay, first off, my other co-hosts, Larry Simonson and Caleb Westman, we have this thing in beef where whenever people immediately compare a high-end food to a fast food place, it's immediately right there just negating your judgment and choice. I think a lot of times people will always bring up Arby's or Wendy's, and they always have this value of if it's like, oh, if I'm paying this amount of money, it needs to be like the best lick my balls burger ever.
Right. It's like saying like, man, I don't like that movie. Well, what do you like? Paul Blart. Okay, well then I don't really care what you like because not really.
Did you see that? Did I send you the link that Kevin James will be playing New Orleans Sean Payton? Yeah, he's gonna play his family doppelganger. He's gonna be doing the story of Bountygate as Sean Payton for the New Orleans Saints head coach.
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy. And they, I can kind of see they're going to make him look the best they can. And at first I thought it was going to be like, oh, he's going to be during their title run. It's like, no, we're going to do a movie about the lowest part of your life.
Hey, remember that you were suspended for a whole year because you were putting bounties on players' heads for your team? Yeah.
So I guess it's going to be a drama, I guess.
I maybe a dramedy. Maybe there'll be a drama with like slapstick physical comedy because it's Kevin James.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's going to have heart. I know. Is all I know it's going to have. It's going to have heart because it's Disney, I imagine. But I'll check it out. I'm sure I'll check it out. But yeah, you're right. The judgment thing. It's the judgment of like, you this is what you're comparing it to. This is clearly where you most likely go all the time. And yeah, if you're complaining like, oh, it took too long, blah blah blah, it was, it's like, yeah, because fast food is fast, so you can't, it's not going to happen instantaneously. What else?
This place used to be my favorite date spot, but they have changed their menu. Roost used to have great gluten-free vegan options, and now they only have sides. I can't believe my one nice restaurant that had awesome vegan food took it off the menu.
I mean, you can't blame a restaurant. If some things aren't selling, they're going to adapt. So, that's just trying to survive right there. So maybe if you liked it so much, you should have went more often, and maybe they'd still have it.
Yeah, I mean, this was also 7 months ago, so it's mid-April 2021 now. So this would have been around September, like right in the middle or peak, wherever time, early COVID, really.
When the whole time.
Yeah, when like restaurants were, I think at that time, were slowly reopening at like 25% capacity, then 50% capacity. So you have limited customers, limited amount of food you can serve and store in general because it doesn't go bad. So I mean, I can be forgiven. I understand like this person's upset because they're vegan. In general, I am sure, and I have vegan friends, I know it is hard to find good vegan food unless it is like Indian. I think a lot of Asian restaurants, like Chinese restaurants, because of rice and your vegetables, or they can be cooked in certain ways. But I can understand the frustration in a sense. But you can't be like I mean, just like you said, like come on, like know the time that we're in.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. I saw a thing the other day where it's like certain restaurants, there's just nothing out there. You can't make certain dishes because there's the food supply. There's a huge gap in whatever. So there's a whole section of dishes that people just can't make. So, recognize the situation that we're in and don't just straight up blame the restaurant. So I got one. 1 star from 1 month ago. I have never been somewhere with such horrible service. Oh, man. First, we waited for 5 minutes to even be seated, which I've never heard of before. Sometimes people are busy, No hostess was in sight. The bartenders could clearly see us standing there, yet did nothing. Once we were seated, a server came by, took drink orders, and disappeared. About 5 to 7 minutes later, a new server came and took over. It took 10 minutes to get our drinks. My friend's martini was horrible. We had to wave the waiter down to get him to come over. We asked for a new drink, received attitude from the server, and then when he went to the bartender, they were very rude and making hand gestures. The manager came over. We really could have cared less about the issue. He really could have cared less about the issues. They took the martini off the bill. The server never came back to check on us once. So we got our food. We were basically ignored. One redeeming factor was the food was decent. They need some management help though. So again, I feel like
it was delicious, but they flipped me off.
Yeah. Hey, you go to restaurants for the food, not to make friends. So look, the food is decent. You got nothing to complain about.
Jason, is it true that I don't know why I was doing a bit and I used your real name, but I meant to use like a generic person's name, but I was like, oh, I just used your own name.
That's okay. Start over. I'm Ricky.
Jason. Nope. You're Jason.
Okay.
It's like when you're an actor and you use your actual like first name in the movie. It's like, why even bother? Anyway, Jason, is it true that you how should I put this? You gestured towards your client today, towards your customer today?
I did. Yeah, you got me.
Jason, we cannot be a high-end, sophisticated gastro restaurant if you are doing the Texas Longhorns, woo, yelling in the crowd when people order a martini. That will not fly.
Yeah, I know. I just thought they were from Texas because they were. I was going to just say something to piss off the entire state of Texas because they had a Texas license plate, I think.
If you would like to, if you are from Texas listening to this episode, you can write in a Jason Underwood at. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it reminds me of the food's good and the service is. I mean, sure, there's some stuff in there like they were gesturing, but like, what do you want? They're like, yeah, the food was good, but the waiter didn't hold my hand. It's like the waiter didn't give me their number. It's like, look, just if the food's good, then you're pretty good.
I'm gonna read this one. It's kind of disturbing, just the first sentence alone, but we'll see how far we get into it without cracking up. I had the white pie, and my boyfriend had the backyard burger. So sexual already.
Already.
The food was great, but a bit overpriced. His burger was supposed to be medium well. Okay, first off, you just ordered a medium well burger. That's not the way to eat a burger. I had burgers tonight. I cooked my own burgers on the grill,
Okay.
and they were pink. They were juicy and pink. Anyway, his burger was supposed to be medium well, but they came a medium rare. He took a that's because it's supposed to be. He took a bite and sent it back. The kitchen put his same burger back on the grill and brought it back out 5 minutes later. His cheese was burnt and rubbery. The sauces were still in the burger. He bit into it and then cut into it. It was unevenly cooked. I am more disturbed that they put his partially eaten burger on the grill instead of cooking him a fresh burger. For a $15 burger, we will not be back. Super disappointed.
I mean, he's the one that's going to keep eating it. It's not like they're going to, I think it's okay. I mean, I guess the only thing is, like, is it weird that his eaten burger is maybe going to touch a regular burger, but they're not going to do that. They probably have a section where they just heat up stuff real quick.
Did my burger touch another burger's partially eaten patty? I can taste someone else's saliva on my burger.
I want to make sure that before I bite this perfect burger, did it touch another burger that was getting warmed up earlier?
I don't know, sir, but put your mask back on.
Were these burgers touching?
First off, I'm already irate over the fact that he wanted a medium well burger and he was complaining about it so much to be overcooked and so on. I want to know more information about the white pie. What is the white pie?
Yeah, that I think that is a white pizza pie where it's got white, sauce on it. Like, I think it's like Alfredo sauce, to be clear, and stop sounding innuendo-y. It's got Alfredo sauce on it, and then you take it from there. So I think that's the concept.
I hope so. It's a family show.
Yeah. But it also looks like a butt, and I don't know.
Excuse me, can I get the butt pie?
I heard the butt pie. But you're right. If you're going on here and if you're that anal retentive about the cookedness, the finished product of the burger, it sounds like you should go home and just cook your own burger. Yeah,
This
you're
one
basically
says
it's like the backseat driver version of cooking. It's like, no, you don't cook this more, cook it more.
Why don't you come in the back and cook it?
I know. When I was a kid, that was the coolest thing. We all got to go to Little Caesars, and all us little kids got to put on bibs and make our own pizza in the back. That was the coolest stuff in the world.
Wait, are you being serious?
Yeah. I was like in middle school, and Little Caesars let all this whole like Cub Scout group make their own pizzas back there. It was like I was in Willy Wonka's castle or some shit.
That is not the Little Caesars near my house, because the Little Caesars near my house, they smoke pot in the back.
Yeah, I felt weird afterwards. I mean,
there's a Little Caesars. You grew up in TR, yeah. The Little Caesars in TR next to the Bilo, across from the highway there. Every time I go and check out the recycling, there's like the entire staff of Little Caesars is always behind the building in the trees, just smoking. Like, you can smell it like 50 yards away. It's that much weed they're smoking.
Sure. You can't blame them. But at least they're going to the trees. I love that part.
I was like, no. We won't get this in the restaurant. We have ideals and morals.
Yeah, let's keep this one in the trees. I love that pizza. I love that Little Caesars, by the way. That's the one that we would go to all the time as a kid.
Hey, kids. Hey, man. Let me tell you about life, man. You can make
breadsticks.
You can make breadsticks, man, or you can be the breadsticks, man.
I could be the breadstick.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
life is like a hot and ready. Okay, either you are ready to go when someone calls for you, or you make your own calls, man.
Yeah, can I get one of those too? Can I get a hot ready pizza?
Oh man, that's crazy. You know what? I'm gonna call this crazy bread.
Maybe I'm gonna go Subway, man. I'll see you. Okay. Let go of my shirt. Crazy bread. You genius, kid.
Hey, man, like there's also a Subway in that same parking lot. Like
Yeah, no, I know the area.
the subway, the Subway artist is like, too good for Caesars, are you? You want to be a Subway artist?
Oh, fancy.
Come here, let me show you what I do with my pastrami.
But but first, me and my friends must go up into the trees and smoke some weed.
Maybe it's tuna, maybe it's not tuna. Who's to know until we have a lawsuit, eh? Back to Roost. This next one, it just simply says, no silverware to eat. They ran out. 1 star.
Okay, look. The pandemic can make you run out of a lot of different foods, a lot of different beers, but running out of silverware, I don't see how that happens.
This one says 1 star. 4 years ago, the chick with a shaved head, Kelly, is the worst bartender ever. I waited 10 minutes for her to even acknowledge me at the bar before I got a drink. The management needs to fire her. I've bartended and I've never made a customer wait this long.
Sure, I hit on her and I tried to get her number the second I got in there, but look, she's supposed to pay attention.
She told me she had a partner. Okay, well, thanks for teasing me. God.
Yeah, like I've never bartended, but I know that look, there's a lot of people not wanting a lot of things, and some of those drinks are complicated, so that does take a second. All right, I got one. 1 star 10 months ago. So what was 10 months ago? Right in the thick of all this stuff, right in the thick of all this pandemic stuff. Here we go. They were open for inside dining, but their menu was totally different than what was on Yelp. Not because of the pandemic, but because of the clientele. I guess if you're not reading Yelp, then this place would not disappoint. I don't know what even that means. I lost track of myself. But again, it's mostly the same kind of shit where it's like, yeah, stuff's going to change. They can't make everything. They can't serve everything because, supply chains have gotten all screwed up. So again, it's just like, I could eat stuff. You didn't even talk about the food that you ate is just, this is different. 1 star.
I noticed that there's a trend kind of skimming through these that some people are upset that. So I don't know what the term is. Sorry, I'm not a restaurateur or a restaurant aficionado or a foodie, like a real one per se. I'm fat and I enjoy food, but that's the different from actually being a foodie. But people get upset with this place. I can tell there's a theme where the quote plates are too small, the servings are too small.
Right.
Because it's kind of like you're not really supposed to get like a full meal, like you're going to like a meat and 3, right? Even though it's like we're in the South and people were kind of raised on that. But this is like what do you call it, like a tapas kind of feel and like that light cuisine.
So yeah, know the room, know what you're walking into. You can't go, hey, Subway didn't even give me a plate. This is served on a piece of paper. It's like, yeah, that's how you do it in Subway. So you can't get mad.
And then people get mad when they're like, "Ooh, I've had better fast food." This one in particular, the curry was completely underwhelming. Would go somewhere else if we are seeking vegetarian or vegan fare. Their dishes are creative and sound great on paper, but the preparation is lackluster at best, bordering on the fast food level. I ordered to go, and they were not busy. Okay, this is from 2 months ago, so this would have been February 2021. I don't get me wrong. I know we're in a pandemic. We've been in a pandemic too long. But can you blame a restaurant's presentation if you ordered it to go? Like,
oh, no. They're not going to make it all nice and pretty. They're putting it in a cardboard box or a foam container. They just want to get it right. because that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Just give you what you ordered. They're not going to put the sprig of, I don't know, oregano or parsley or whatever. They're not going to do all the fun bells and whistles.
And between either yourself picking it up to go or your DoorDash or whatever service you use to pick up the food, like that shit's being slung around. You can't blame the restaurant on the presentation and lackluster and it's just as bad as fast food. Like it is not. I've never had any kind of fast food except for maybe an era from Arby's that's that good. I'm just kidding. Arby's is terrible. Joe Johnson, if you're listening to me, you know Arby's is terrible. Fun fact. I'll end this episode on this. Our mutual friend Joe Johnson, friend of the podcast and friend of ours, we've had this long-running joke with a group of friends of ours we play poker with that he should start a fan erotica account, much like OnlyFans, but called Only Joe's.
Oh,
and it's just random pictures of Joe's, just guys named Joe, like not even sexy, just people. Joe's at work, Joe's his dad, Joe's reading, just random Joe's.
Joe feeding a bird.
Well, Joe Johnson bought onlyjoes.com, like the actual like property and rights to it, to the website from GoDaddy. And we give him a lot of shit because every time Joe, who's an engineer by trade, he works out of town, he tries to stay to a lean, keto, high protein-ish, low carb diet.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, his default, he loves Arby's. But when I say Arby's, he just goes, orders basically whatever the equivalent of a 5 for $5 would be, 5 sandwiches for $5, just the meat, and put it in a tuppy and just leave and get some sauce on the side. That's exactly the reaction that we all give him every week.
So it's not even like the fancy sandwiches on bread. He just gets like the roast beef, like sections.
He just gets the beef in a box with some sauce on the side. That's all he eats.
And then he goes into a closet and just turns the lights off, and whatever happens, happens. You know? Even
better, he goes to a nice hotel that's per diemed on his company's account. He just sits there and eats meat while sitting on Zoom with us.
Yeah, it's a room with 2 beds, and one of them's ruined with the Arby's smell.
The best part is this. He bought onlyjoes.com. It reroutes automatically to arby's.com. So I hope if anyone out there is working at Arby's, get this to whatever marketing department you can be a part of, and give Joe Johnson of Greenville, South Carolina, some royalties for directing traffic to arby's.com.
He is helping out. Yeah, Only Joe's sounds like the equivalent of like farmersonly.com, you know? So you can like watch, go to Only Joe's, you watch a farmer like just tilling, you know, or you watch him weeding a row, you know, just going to town on some hay, you know. I think there's a business plan there.
It ain't much, but it's honest work. Honest Joe's. That's the other website. It's Honest Joe's.
That's it.
You've said that you and your wife, you love going to Roost. Primarily, you like going to Roost on Valentine's. It's like an annual celebration there. I do too. Like I said, I like the buffet. I like the flatbread pizzas they have in general. I've had all kinds of. I mean, they have like international cuisine. From what I remember, I haven't been there since COVID, so I've been there in like a little bit of a year. But I remember they used to have like. I remember they had like a really good pasta dishes as well. They had like a Korean chicken, and they had like really good tacos as well. But definitely check out Roost. It's in the Hyatt Regency Plaza Hotel at the top of North Main, 220 North Main Street in Greenville, South Carolina. Again, you won't be disappointed unless you were that fond of Burger King, Wendy's, and McDonald's, and you were putting that bar real low/high on Roost. You would not be disappointed there. But check out Roost. Also check out Jason Underwood on the Bearded Ones comedy podcast with his partner, Evan Harris. They've had over 410 episodes by the time this episode airs. Definitely check them out. They've been going strong on Podbean. Check them out also on different platforms. Listen to us as well. 1-star reviews with Jason Underwood as well. Going back all the way to episode 1. Over a year ago, we were celebrating 1 year anniversary of 1-star reviews. It's been a really fun time doing this. Last month, we had over 1,200 downloads for the first time ever doing this show. So I'm really proud of that accomplishment. Thanks to everyone listening there. Give us a like, subscribe, wherever you listen to, whether it be Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Spotify, Amazon, all the things there. Give us a like and review and subscribe to us as well. This has been Roost with Jason Underwood, the handsome, slim, smirking. He knows. You can't see this because it's not a video podcast, but he's smirking.
He's smirking. Well, hey,
He's
man.
smirking.
Thanks for having me, buddy. This was great.
Yeah, man.